Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Shea Banerjee, core faculty for the College of Health Sciences and Public Policy at Walden University. And in this segment, I'm going to be going over something called International Day for the Elimination of Sexual Violence and Conflict. Now, this weekend happens to be this day. Actually, it was yesterday, and I'm recording this after that day. So yesterday was International Day of Elimination. Anyway, so there's a lot of different components to consider, especially when women and children are fleeing from war-torn countries. For instance, this is by these pictures are by men and women, or women and children that were running away from conflict in southern and northern Sudan. And this is something that is experienced globally by individuals that are running away and displaced and are in refugee camps. And this is where disease, malaria, a lot of the different typhoid fever, a lot of the different, even Ebola, a lot of the different microbes that can affect individuals. So again, this is a picture of Sudanese refugees. So I want to read some of this article here. So with war raging, and by the way, this is the United Nations website. With war raging across the world, children and adolescents are increasingly being exposed to conflict-related sexual violence. With growing displacement, family separations, weakened protection systems, and systematic use of rape as a weapon of war. With forced marriages, exploitation, trafficking, adolescent girls are at heightened risk of sexual violence. So these can derail childhoods, cause long-lasting damage from physical injuries to pregnancy, trauma, and social stigma. And what happens with the stigma in villages, women cannot find a groom and whatnot because of some of the damages that have been done in the uterus due to early pregnancies. And sexual violence. In light of this theme for this year is conflict-related sexual violence against children, safeguarding futures and empowering caregivers. Very important and very good theme for this year. All survivors of conflict must be center of every response, especially ones with sexual violence. Perpetrators must be held accountable. Conflict-related human sexual violence is never inevitable or excusable. It is a grave violation of international law and human rights. Survivors need a right to participate and communities in decisions of policies and programs to counter sexual violence and seek justice. So sexual violence and conflict calls for global solidarity together with local action specific to protecting children and adolescents, providing age-appropriate services that safeguard their lives and futures. So stigma and discrimination, again, stigma comes up again and again. I actually wrote a whole book on stigma. And so since stigma and discrimination cause additional harm, communities must stand together and empower survivors and their caregivers, urging acceptance, inclusion, and protection. So this is sexual violence perpetrated against children and adolescents in conflict robs them of their rights and dignity. We must act now to prevent these atrocities and support survivors, caregivers with comprehensive protection services. And so that concludes this presentation. I wanted to kind of go over one of the articles, and so this is in South Sudan. And she is leaving conflict-related sexual violence, which was something that was very common in Sudan. Here is a little child, vulnerable child, and here's a mother of a child that's in a refugee camp. All right, so this covers everything. I hope this has made some sense. Thank you for listening.